My child, listen gently and breathe for a moment. This message is not here to frighten you, pressure you, or harm your peace. God does not come to terrify you or threaten you. God comes to steady your heart, to calm your tears, and to remind you that you are never alone. You are safe. Nothing bad will happen to you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are covered, protected, and watched over more closely than you realize. This message is urgent only because your heart needs reassurance right now, not because danger is chasing you. God says He sees the tears you have been trying to control. The ones that come suddenly, without warning. The tears you wipe away quickly so no one notices. The tears that fall late at night when you are alone and your thoughts become heavy. God says these tears are not weakness. They are release. They are the soul letting go of pressure it carried for too long. Heaven counts every tear, and not one of them is wasted. God says Archangel Michael stands near you, not with anger, not with accusation, but with deep concern and protection. Michael is not here to scare you. He is here to shield you. He is here to strengthen your spirit so you do not collapse under emotional weight that was never meant to destroy you. Michael's presence means defense, courage, and truth wrapped in love. God says yes, someone in your family has begun to see something clearly. But hear this carefully, truth does not automatically mean harm. Truth does not automatically mean rejection. Truth does not automatically mean loss. Sometimes truth arrives so healing can finally begin. Sometimes truth comes so misunderstandings can dissolve. Sometimes truth comes not to expose you, but to free you. God says do not panic. Do not assume the worst. Do not let your mind run ahead into fear-filled stories. Fear is not prophecy. Fear is not wisdom. Fear is not a message from God. Fear is only noise when trust is missing. God says you have carried silent burdens about family, about being misunderstood, about being judged unfairly, about being seen through the wrong lens. God says He knows how hard you tried to be strong, to explain yourself, to stay quiet when you wanted to scream, to keep peace even when it cost you peace inside. God says He saw all of it. God says if someone in your family has learned something, He is already involved in the outcome. You are not exposed without protection. You are not discussed without divine presence. You are not misunderstood without God standing between you and harm. Nothing is happening behind your back that God cannot redeem. God says stop blaming yourself. Stop replaying old conversations. Stop wondering what you should have said differently. Stop punishing yourself for being human. You did the best you could with the awareness you had at that time. Growth does not mean guilt. Awareness does not mean shame. God says Archangel Michael is reminding you to guard your emotions right now. Not by closing your heart, but by anchoring it. Do not overshare from a place of panic. Do not withdraw from a place of fear. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Stay prayerful. Silence with peace is more powerful than explanations fueled by anxiety. God says you are not about to lose love. You are not about to lose your place. You are not about to be abandoned. Those thoughts are not from Him. Those thoughts are from exhaustion. God says uncontrollable tears sometimes come before emotional relief. The body releases what the soul has held for too long. Crying does not mean something bad is coming. Crying often means something heavy is leaving. God says trust Him with your family dynamics. Trust Him with conversations that haven't happened yet. Trust Him with words that may be spoken. Trust Him with reactions you cannot control. Your job is not to manage everyone's emotions. Your job is to remain aligned with peace. God says if you feel the urge to pray, pray simply. You do not need fancy words. A whisper is enough. A sigh is enough. Even silence is prayer when the heart is open. God says Archangel Michael is surrounding your home, your name, your reputation, and your future with protection. Nothing meant to break you will succeed. Nothing meant to shame you will stand. Nothing meant to distort the truth will overpower what God is aligning. God says do not skip rest. Do not skip nourishment. Do not skip grounding yourself in the present moment. Anxiety grows when the body is depleted. Care for yourself gently. This is spiritual too. God says you are allowed to feel, but you are not required to drown in those feelings. Let emotions pass through you, not define you. You are more than a moment of vulnerability. God says remember who you are. You are chosen, but not burdened. You are aware, but not condemned. You are protected, not targeted. You are loved, not tolerated. God says if difficult emotions arise, place them in His hands. You were never meant to carry everything alone. Divine help is not a last resort. It is your foundation. God says nothing about your future is being destroyed. Nothing about your destiny is being cancelled. Nothing about your worth is being reduced. This is a moment of clarity, not catastrophe. God says Archangel Michael stands firm so you can soften. You do not need to fight right now. You need to trust. God says breathe again. Slowly. Deeply. You are safe. You are covered. You are not in danger. You are not being punished. You are being guided. God says stay present. Stay prayerful. Stay gentle with yourself. He is already working things out in ways you cannot yet see. God says peace is returning to you, even if it feels distant right now. This moment will not break you. It will strengthen your discernment, your emotional maturity, and your faith. God says trust Him. He has never failed you before. He will not start now, my child. Listen quietly and breathe for a moment. This message comes not to frighten you, not to control you, and not to force your heart, but to steady you. Nothing bad will happen to you here. You are safe. You are held. You are protected. Let every breath remind you that you are alive, watched over, and not alone. God says, I see the tears you have been trying to hold back. I see the nights when your chest feels heavy and you cannot explain why. These tears are not weakness. They are pressure leaving your spirit. They are proof that your heart is still soft, still human, still capable of love. When tears come without warning, it is because something inside you has been touched by truth. Not a truth meant to harm you, but one meant to free you. Archangel Michael speaks gently now. Be careful, not in fear, but in awareness. Someone in your family has recently come to understand something about you that you never had the words to explain. This does not mean judgment is coming. This does not mean danger is near. It means a layer of misunderstanding is thinning. It means what was once hidden by silence is beginning to surface, and that can feel overwhelming even when it is necessary. God says, do not rush to defend yourself. Do not rush to explain. Truth does not need shouting to survive. Truth stands on its own. If you feel emotional, if your eyes well up unexpectedly, it is not because something terrible is happening. It is because your soul recognizes a shift. Shifts often feel like loss before they feel like relief. You are not being punished. You are not being tested beyond your strength. You are not about to lose anything that is meant for you. Hear this clearly, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Your life is not in danger. Your future is not collapsing. What feels intense right now is not destruction, it is release. God says, trust me even when your thoughts spin. Trust me when your mind tries to imagine worst-case outcomes. Those thoughts are not prophecy. They are fear trying to protect you the wrong way. I am not the author of panic. I am the author of peace, even when peace arrives slowly. Archangel Michael stands beside you not with a raised sword, but with open hands. His presence is steady. His voice is calm. He reminds you that you have survived confusion before. You have survived silence. You have survived being misunderstood. This moment is not stronger than you. Someone in your family learning the truth does not mean confrontation is inevitable. Sometimes truth simply settles quietly into someone's heart and changes how they see you without a single word being spoken. Sometimes understanding arrives later, gently, after resistance fades. You are not responsible for managing everyone's reaction. You are only responsible for staying rooted in who you are. God says, if tears come, let them come. Do not shame yourself for feeling deeply. Do not tell yourself to be stronger than you need to be. Tears do not mean you are failing. They mean your heart is processing something sacred. They mean you care. And caring is not a flaw. You do not need to skip this moment or rush past it. You also do not need to cling to it. Feel what you feel, then release it into prayer. Prayer is not always words. Sometimes prayer is simply saying, "God, I trust you even though I don't fully understand." Trust does not mean pretending everything feels fine. Trust means choosing not to let fear write the ending of the story. God says, "I am already ahead of what worries you. I am already present in conversations you are not part of. I am already softening hearts you think are closed. You are not exposed in a way that will harm you. You are being seen in a way that will eventually heal something that has been strained for a long time." Healing often begins uncomfortably. Growth often begins with emotion. This does not mean you are losing control, it means you are changing. Archangel Michael reminds you to guard your peace. Be careful with your thoughts. Do not replay imagined conversations. Do not assume rejection before it exists. Do not punish yourself with what-ifs. None of those thoughts are messages from God. God says, "You are loved not because you are perfect, but because you are mine." Nothing you are learning, nothing others are learning, changes that. Your worth is not up for debate. Your place is secure. If you feel the urge to pray, pray simply. If you feel the urge to rest, rest without guilt. If you feel the urge to cry, cry without fear. You are not being watched for mistakes. You are being watched over with care. This moment will pass. The emotion will settle. The understanding will deepen. And you will look back and realize that what felt like uncontrollable tears was actually your spirit releasing a burden it no longer needed to carry. God says, "Stay with me. Trust me. You are safe. Nothing is going wrong with you. You are held, you are guided, and you are never alone, my child." Listen gently and breathe for a moment. This message is not here to frighten you, and it is not here to control you. It is here to hold you. God says He sees the tears that rise without warning, the kind that come from deep places you cannot always explain. Those tears are not weakness. They are the language of a heart that has been carrying too much in silence. God says, "You are safe right now. Nothing bad is happening to you in this moment. You are being watched over with care, not judgment." God says there are times when emotions overflow because truth is drawing closer. Not because danger is approaching. Uncontrollable tears often arrive when the soul senses change before the mind understands it. You have been strong for a long time, stronger than people realize, stronger than you sometimes admit to yourself. God says your strength has not gone unnoticed. Heaven knows how often you kept going when you wanted to stop, how often you smiled when you were tired, how often you chose peace even when misunderstanding surrounded you. God says, "Be careful in a gentle way, not a fearful way." Careful means aware. Careful means grounded. Careful means staying close to prayer instead of close to panic. Archangel Michael stands near you not with anger, not with threats, but with steady protection. His presence is firm and calm. He says you do not need to defend yourself loudly. You do not need to explain everything to everyone. God says silence, when guided by wisdom, can be a shield. God says someone in your family has begun to see something they did not fully understand before. This does not mean harm is coming. It means perspective is shifting. When truth begins to surface, emotions can stir on all sides. God says do not rush to react. Do not assume the worst. Let God handle what is being revealed. What is real does not need to be forced. What is true does not need to be chased. God says, I am already working in conversations you cannot hear and thoughts you cannot control. God says, you have been misunderstood before, and that memory still aches. That is why your heart feels tight when you sense others talking or thinking about you. God understands that fear. He says you are not about to be abandoned, exposed, or shamed. You are about to be understood more than you expect, but it will happen in my timing, not through conflict. Trust the process even when it feels slow. God says, do not try to protect yourself through worry. Worry feels like preparation, but it only drains you. Prayer prepares you better than fear ever could. When your thoughts begin to race, return to a simple prayer. Even a few words are enough. God says, help me trust you opens more doors than long anxious conversations in your mind. Archangel Michael says you are being guarded in ways you cannot see. There are moments when outcomes could have gone badly, but they didn't. You may never know how many times protection stepped in quietly. God says this is not luck. This is care. This is love. This is guidance surrounding you even on ordinary days. God says the tears you feel are also a release. You have been holding emotions that were never meant to stay locked inside. Crying does not mean you are losing control. It means your heart is healing in layers. Let the tears come without shame. Let them wash away what no longer needs to stay. God says, I am close to you in those moments, not distant. God says do not measure your life by the opinions of family members, friends, or anyone else. Even when people begin to learn things about you, they only see a fragment. God sees the whole story. He sees your intentions, your struggles, your prayers whispered at night, your desire to do right even when it was hard. God says, I am your defender. You do not need to build a case for yourself. God says there is nothing wrong with you for feeling deeply. Sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign of a heart that is alive and responsive. The world often teaches people to numb themselves, but God says He created you to feel, to care, to love deeply. That is not something to suppress. It is something to steward wisely. God says, if fear whispers that something terrible will happen if you stop reading, reject that voice. Fear does not come from God. God does not threaten you to gain your attention. He invites you with love. Whether you pause or continue, God's care for you does not disappear. You are not being tested. You are being reminded, God says, right now your only assignment is trust. Not blind trust, but calm trust. Trust that God knows what is happening in your family. Trust that He knows what people are thinking. Trust that He knows how to protect your heart and your future. You do not need to rush to fix anything today, God says. Keep your words kind, your spirit steady, and your heart open. Avoid arguments that lead nowhere. Avoid replaying conversations that already happened. God says, peace is more powerful than proving a point. Peace will carry you through this season safely. Archangel Michael says you are not alone when you feel overwhelmed. Call on God when your chest feels heavy. Sit quietly if you can. Breathe slowly. Let your body calm so your spirit can listen. God says clarity comes when the noise settles. God says there is growth happening in you that others may only now begin to notice. Growth can make people uncomfortable because it changes old dynamics. That does not mean you have done something wrong. It means you have changed. God says, do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Stay humble, stay loving, but stay true, God says. Tonight and in the coming days, choose rest over overthinking. Choose prayer over panic. Choose patience over reaction. You are not on the edge of disaster. You are on the edge of understanding. That feels intense, but it is not dangerous. God says, I am with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. Even if emotions rise, even if tears fall, even if conversations feel uncertain, you are held. Trust me. Pray to me. Walk gently forward. I have not let go of you, and I will not start now, God says, my child, pause your racing thoughts and breathe with me for a moment. I know your heart is tender right now, and the emotions feel bigger than you expected. You have sensed a stirring, a wave of feeling that rises suddenly, and you wonder why your eyes fill so quickly. God says these tears are not here to harm you. They are not a warning of loss or punishment. They are a release, a cleansing, a softening of places that have carried weight for too long. You are safe. Nothing is going wrong with you. I am with you, and I have not stepped away, not even for a second. God says, be careful not in fear, but in awareness. Be careful to listen gently, not anxiously. Be careful to guard your heart from voices that twist love into threat. Archangel Michael stands near you not to frighten you, but to steady you. His presence is firm, calm, protective. He says there is no need to panic. There is no need to rush your spirit or pressure your soul. Truth does not arrive to destroy you. Truth arrives to set you free. You feel as though someone in your family has learned something about you, and that thought has made your chest tight. God says, I know what they know, and I knew it long before today. Nothing about you surprises me. Nothing about your story makes me withdraw my love. Human understanding often comes slowly, imperfectly, and sometimes painfully. But divine understanding has always held you fully. Whatever has come to light is not the end of you. It is not a sentence against you. It is simply a moment in a longer story that I am still writing with care. God says, "My child, do not imagine conversations that have not yet happened. Do not punish yourself with assumptions. You are not required to defend your worth. You are not required to explain your soul to anyone who approaches without compassion. If someone has learned a truth, remember that truth without love is incomplete. And love, real love, comes from me first. Let my love speak louder in your heart than the imagined judgments of others." Archangel Michael says, "Steady yourself. Place your feet on solid ground. Feel the strength beneath you. You have been protected in moments you did not even realize were dangerous. You have been guided away from harm without knowing what was avoided. I have stood between you and what would have crushed you. I am not leaving now. I am not turning away because emotions are intense. I am here because intensity often signals transformation, not disaster." God says, "Those uncontrollable tears you feel are not a sign that you are weak. They are evidence that your heart is alive. You have carried responsibility, misunderstanding, and quiet pressure for a long time. You learned to be strong before you learned to be gentle with yourself. Now your spirit is asking for softness. Allow it. Tears are prayers too. When you cannot find words, your tears speak trust, surrender, and hope all at once. You may be afraid that if you stop reading, something bad will happen, that you will be left alone with fear. God says, "That is not my voice. I do not threaten my children into listening. I invite them into peace. Whether you read slowly or pause, whether you sit quietly or close your eyes, I remain with you. There is no punishment for resting. There is no curse for stepping back. You are not being tested in that way," God says, "Trust me in this season." Trust does not mean understanding everything at once. Trust means placing today in my hands and letting tomorrow wait. If there are conversations ahead with family, I will give you the right words at the right time. You do not have to rehearse pain in advance. You do not have to prepare for rejection that has not arrived. I go before you, and I also walk beside you, Archangel Michael says. Be careful with your inner dialogue. Notice how quickly you blame yourself, how fast you assume the worst. That is not wisdom, that is weariness. Replace those thoughts with truth. You are learning. You are growing. You are allowed to evolve. The past does not own you. The opinions of others do not define you. Your identity is anchored in divine love, not family gossip or partial understanding. God says, "My child, you are safe to pray honestly. You do not need perfect words. Say, God, I am overwhelmed, and that is enough. Say, God, hold me, and I will. Prayer is not a performance. It is a connection. In this moment, connection matters more than explanation. You may feel watched, evaluated, or misunderstood. God says, I see you clearly, and my gaze is gentle. I see the intentions behind your actions, the motives beneath your choices, the wounds that shaped your reactions. I do not reduce you to a single chapter. I read your whole book with patience and compassion. Archangel Michael says, remember who you are becoming, not just who you have been. Growth often brings exposure, not because you are wrong, but because you are changing. Light reveals, but it also heals. Stand tall without hardening your heart. You do not need armor right now. You need truth wrapped in grace, God says, if family members speak. Listen without immediately absorbing their emotions. You can hear without agreeing. You can acknowledge without surrendering your peace. Silence can be wisdom. Boundaries can be holy. Love does not mean losing yourself. Those tears will pass, and when they do, you will notice something quieter underneath them. Strength. Clarity. A deeper sense that you are not alone. God says, I am working even when you feel uncertain. I am aligning things you cannot yet see. What feels like exposure will become understanding. What feels like fear will become freedom. Do not rush your healing. Do not measure your faith by how calm you feel. Faith sometimes looks like choosing to breathe again, choosing to trust one more step. That is enough for today, God says, rest your mind now. Place your worries in my care. Let Archangel Michael's protection surround you like a steady light. Nothing is about to fall apart beyond repair. Nothing has been lost beyond redemption. You are held, you are guided, and you are deeply loved. Stay close to prayer, not out of fear, but out of relationship. Trust me, not because you are scared of what might happen, but because you know who I am. I am the God who keeps you safe, who walks with you through emotion, who turns tears into wisdom and uncertainty into peace. You are not in danger. You are in a moment of growth. And I am with you, now and always, my child. Listen with a calm heart and steady breath. I speak to you now not to frighten you, not to control you, not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you gently and truthfully. What you feel rising in your chest right now, that tightness, that sudden emotion, that quiet heaviness behind the eyes, those are not signs of danger. Those are signs of awareness. Tears are not weakness. Tears are release. Tears come when truth approaches the heart. You are safe as you read this. Nothing bad is happening to you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are held, watched over, and protected. Even now, I know you are sensitive to spiritual warnings. I know urgency catches your attention quickly. But hear this clearly and slowly. urgency does not mean destruction. Urgency means importance. It means something wants to be understood before it becomes pain instead of wisdom. Archangel Michael stands near you not with a raised sword, but with steady presence, firm love, and unwavering protection. His energy is not chaos. His energy is clarity. Someone in your family has recently learned something about you. Yes, this is true. But the truth they learned is not what your fear is trying to tell you. Fear rushes ahead and paints worst-case images. Truth arrives quietly and waits to be invited in. What they learned does not place you in danger. It does not strip you of safety. It does not remove God's hand from your life. It simply changes how they see you. And sometimes people struggle when their old assumptions fall away. You have carried many misunderstandings for a long time. You have been misjudged, mislabeled, and silently evaluated by those who did not ask your heart for permission before deciding your story. God has seen every moment of that. Not one tear you swallowed went unnoticed. Not one prayer you whispered was ignored. And now, as truth begins to surface, emotions begin to move. When truth moves, tears often follow, not because something terrible will happen, but because something hidden is finally breathing. Do not try to skip your feelings. Do not rush past them. Skipping does not protect you, it delays healing. When the message says don't skip, it does not mean punishment follows skipping. It means understanding waits for presence. If you run from understanding, confusion stays longer. That is all. God does not threaten His children. God teaches them. Archangel Michael says to you, stay grounded. Stay observant. Stay calm. Not everything that is revealed needs an immediate reaction. Some truths are meant to settle before they speak. Someone in your family may be processing their own emotions right now: shock, guilt, surprise, or regret. Their tears, if they come, are not your fault. Their realization does not mean you are in trouble. It means a layer of illusion has lifted. You have spent so much of your life worrying about how others will respond to who you truly are. You have learned to brace yourself before conversations that haven't even happened yet. That tension has lived in your body for years. God is not asking you to carry that anymore. Trust is not pretending everything is fine. Trust is knowing that even if emotions arise, you will not be abandoned in them. Let me say this again, clearly and gently: nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are not about to lose anything meant for you. You are not about to be punished. You are not about to face disaster. The tears spoken of are not tears of destruction, they are tears of release, understanding, and sometimes relief. You may notice old memories surfacing now, moments when you felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood within your family. Those memories rise because they are ready to soften. God heals in layers, not explosions. Archangel Michael does not rush healing with fear. He steadies it with truth. Pray, yes, but not from panic. Pray from connection. Speak honestly. You do not need perfect words. Say what you feel. Say what you fear. Say what you hope. Prayer is not performance, it is presence. God already knows your heart, but He invites you to know it too. If conversations happen, let them unfold naturally. You are not required to defend your entire life in one moment. Silence is not guilt. Pausing is not weakness. You are allowed to breathe before responding. You are allowed to choose peace over proving yourself. You may feel emotional after reading this. That is okay. Let the emotion pass through you like water, not lodge inside you like a stone. Cry if you need to. Tears cleanse the nervous system. They do not predict loss. They signal honesty. Archangel Michael stands guard over your mind right now, helping you separate intuition from anxiety. Anxiety screams. Intuition speaks calmly. If something is truly dangerous, clarity will come with instruction, not panic. What you are receiving now is awareness, not alarm. Trust God. Not because something bad will happen if you don't, but because trust allows you to rest while life rearranges itself gently. Pray not to stop disaster, but to strengthen peace. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. Your life is not falling apart. It is adjusting. And adjustment can feel emotional before it feels stable. Stay present. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay open to grace. You are safe, nothing will go wrong with you, you are loved, you are protected, and you are never walking alone. God says, "My beloved child, come closer in your heart and listen gently. Because this message is not coming to frighten you, but to protect you, to steady you, and to remind you of who you are and whose hands you are in." You may feel emotion rising inside you, tears that seem to come from nowhere. A tightness in your chest that you cannot explain. Do not resist it. These tears are not weakness. They are a release. They are the soul exhaling after holding its breath for too long. I see them. I count them. Not one falls unnoticed. God says, be careful, not because danger is chasing you, but because awareness is awakening around you. Archangel Michael stands near you now, not with a sword raised, not with armor clashing, but with calm authority, steady presence, and unwavering protection. His voice is firm yet loving. He says someone in your family has recently learned a truth about you, and this truth is shifting the energy around you. This is not meant to harm you. It is meant to bring clarity. What has been hidden can no longer stay hidden. What has been misunderstood is beginning to be seen from a new angle. God says, do not panic when you sense change. Do not assume the worst when you feel emotional waves rising. Often, when truth surfaces, emotions intensify before peace settles in. This is not punishment. This is alignment. You are being realigned with your destiny, with your integrity, with the path that was always meant for you. Even if others react emotionally, even if words are spoken that sting for a moment, remember that no human reaction has the power to undo what I have written for you. Archangel Michael says, stay grounded. Stay calm. Do not rush to explain yourself. Do not rush to defend yourself. Truth does not need to shout. Truth stands firm even in silence. Someone in your family may be processing what they learned through their own wounds, fears, or misunderstandings. Give them space. Give yourself grace. You are not responsible for how others choose to feel. You are only responsible for remaining honest, centered, and faithful. God says, you are safe. Let that truth sink deep into your spirit. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are not about to lose what matters. You are not about to be abandoned. You are not being set up for harm. I am surrounding you on all sides, in ways you can see and in ways you cannot. Even conversations you are not present for are being filtered through my protection. Even thoughts formed about you are being softened by my hand. You may feel uncontrollable tears because old pressure is leaving your body. For a long time, you carried unspoken weight. You worried about being misunderstood. You feared being judged. You questioned whether people truly saw your heart. Now, the release is happening. Tears are washing away the residue of that fear. Let them flow. Cry without shame. Heaven is not alarmed by your tears. Heaven honors them. God says, trust me especially when your emotions feel loud. Trust me when your mind tries to imagine worst-case scenarios. Those thoughts are not prophecy. They are echoes of old anxiety. I am not the author of confusion. I am the author of peace. When something is from me, even if it is intense, it leads you toward freedom, not fear. Archangel Michael says, remain watchful, not worried. Be mindful of your words in the coming days. Speak with honesty, but do not overshare out of nervousness. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth. Your life already speaks. Your consistency already speaks. Your character already speaks. Those who are meant to understand you will understand you in time. God says, there have been moments when you felt like skipping messages like this, moments when your heart said, I'm tired, I don't want to feel anymore. I understand that fatigue. But I want you to know that stopping yourself from listening to truth does not stop truth from working on your behalf. This message is not here to trap you in fear. It is here to anchor you in assurance. You are not being warned of disaster. You are being reminded of divine coverage. If tears come again, let them come. They are not announcing loss. They are announcing release. Sometimes the body cries when the soul is finally believed. Sometimes tears fall when you realize you are not alone, that God has not forgotten you, that angels have not stopped watching over you. God says, someone in your family learning the truth does not mean conflict must follow. It means healing is possible. It means honesty has entered the space. Even if reactions are imperfect, even if conversations are delayed, even if silence stretches for a while, I am still working. Silence does not mean abandonment. It often means reflection. Archangel Michael stands guard over your peace. He says, do not allow fear-based thoughts to take root. Pull them out gently and replace them with prayer. Even a simple prayer. Even a quiet whisper. You do not need long speeches. Just say, God, I trust you. That is enough to shift the atmosphere. God says, you are not being exposed to be shamed. You are being revealed to be understood. There is a difference. Exposure from fear destroys. Revelation from God heals. I am not tearing you down. I am lifting misunderstandings off you. I am removing labels that were never yours to carry. You may notice your intuition becoming sharper. You may sense who is safe to talk to and who needs distance right now. Honor that discernment. It is a gift. You are allowed to protect your emotional space without guilt. You are allowed to step back and breathe. God says, remember this above all, nothing will go wrong with you. I repeat it because your heart needs repetition. Nothing will go wrong with you. Even if emotions run high. Even if conversations feel heavy. Even if you cry unexpectedly. You are safe. You are guided. You are loved beyond measure. Do not rush the outcome. Let me handle the timing. Let me soften hearts. Let me reorder understanding. You focus on prayer, on rest, on staying connected to me. When you trust me, I work in ways you cannot imagine. Archangel Michael says, you are protected in ways you cannot see. Doors that could have led to pain are being quietly closed. Words that could have wounded deeply are being restrained. You are walking through a narrow passage, but it opens into peace. God says, take a deep breath now. Let it fill your lungs. Release it slowly. Feel my presence around you. You are not standing on shaky ground. You are standing on promise. Whatever truth has come to light will ultimately serve your good, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Stay with me. Pray when you feel overwhelmed. Rest when your body asks for rest.